In the world of marketing, we can also look at the selling concept versus the marketing concept. These are basically two different approaches that a business can take. In the selling concept, the starting point becomes our own, let's say, factory or our own farm or wherever we create an actual product. The focus becomes let's look at our existing products that we're creating or making, so in our factory or in our farm. The next step becomes all right, let's consider how do we take this particular product and we sell it to people. So the idea would be through sales and through promotions. And the end result becomes profit through sales volume. So because the selling concept looks at or begins with what we already do, and it's more inward facing as opposed to outward facing, inward meaning the organization, as opposed to outward our market or consumers or customers or market segments. The idea is the more we sell to them, the more profit we make overall. There's not going to be a huge markup in our particular products, but there's going to be a lot of volumes, a lot of product being sold, equaling a lot of profit. If we look at traditional businesses where things don't really change, things don't really evolve, or maybe products which doesn't need much change or evolution as such, perfect. Think of commodities, right? Like think of food in particular, wheat, rice, absolute staples. You're not going to be doing much to this particular product. If you're a farmer that's growing wheat or growing rice, you've grown it, you have harvested it, and you're taking it to the market. And the way you make money is by selling lots of it. The individual unit cost, right? It's like 1 kilogram of rice. You can't just magically charge 4 times the cost that somebody else is charging because you haven't really added any additional value to it. So this is where the second concept comes in. The second concept is called the marketing concept. The starting point for the marketing concept is the market itself, as in the buyers, the sellers, the competition that we have, the people that we're serving, the other organizations that are there as well. So the starting point becomes the market itself. From the marketing concept, we need to do research. We need to understand the particular market that we're serving. What are their needs? What are their wants? What are their desires? What do they have the purchasing power to purchase? What are their pain points? Understanding these things allows us to focus very heavily on the customer's individual need or the segment's need. From there, the next part becomes the means, which is how we're actually going to do all this. Here we talk about integrated marketing, which means looking at place, price, product, promotion, people, process, physical evidence, the 7 Ps of marketing, looking at each and every single one of these components and trying to work out what do we need to do so we can best serve the needs that we've just identified. And the last step, right, the end. What does all this equal? Well, if we have understood our market, if we have created products that will meet their particular needs, wants, desires, and we have differentiated and added value to it, then profit becomes our end goal, but profit through customer satisfaction as opposed to large sales volume, meaning we don't have to sell thousands and hundreds of thousands or millions of units to make huge profits. Ours becomes a lot more focused, and because we've added value, we can charge more for our particular product. Okay, example of this. Imagine you go to the grocery store. Now, you can buy wheat, you can buy rice. Well, you can buy from wheat, you can buy flour quite essentially, and rice. But have you noticed that there are more specialty types of wheat-based products available now or rice-based products available now? Now, those specialty products that have value added done to it, which enhances the value of the product, they can charge more for it. They, as in the organization, can now charge more for it. Classic example of this would have to be all the gluten-free products we have today. Now, I remember about 8 years ago, I was talking to one of my students who had gluten intolerance. Every time she would have gluten, she would get a very, very bad allergic reaction. 8 years ago, it was very hard to find gluten-free products on the market. 8 years later, now when you go to the stores, there is an entire aisle dedicated to gluten-free products, which is pretty good. So that's the difference between the selling concept, where our focus, everything is very much product and volume based, to the marketing focus or marketing concept, where our focus is purely on the market and based on the market, creating products which have higher value overall.